Hunger, not only banditry, are killing Nigerians under Buhari's watch. Bakare, a public commentator, Alhaji Ahmed Bakare, has lamented that President Buhari is responsible for banditry in the country, saying many Nigerians cannot afford to feed themselves. He quoted the former head of state, General Sani Abacha, as saying, if any crisis persists in the society for more than 24 hours, the government is involved in the crisis. Bakare said Buhari's administration is playing with politics and people's lives and properties, pointing out that the government does not intend to help the common people in the society. Buhari is just there lamenting about banditry attacks on innocent people, but he's blind to the fact that thousands of people are dying of hunger and starvation. We are very much aware that the government is using populists to make political business, he said. I bought a tuber or yam for 1,500, then how do you expect a common man to provide for such an amount of money, for God's sake? Bakare said he does not blame agitators fighting for their own independence because Nigeria is no longer what it used to be, saying the founders of Nigeria would not be happy to see the country they left behind. On that comment, okay, I know everyone's out here doing history, protect the fathers of Nigeria, cool, I'm so sorry. What did you people discuss in 1960 when we got independence? Because I'm so sorry, but it's independence. Who said we're independent? Because listen, let's not bring independence into this. Because to see the country they left behind, what country did they negotiate for? I understand, okay, fine, we were colonized. So in terms of the power play, it wasn't really a negotiation. We were given independence at their own will, with the push of human rights, marketing that they did that time. But don't even try and mention what the founding father, because I'm so sorry, I don't know what deal that they made, but that contract, what they wrote in terms of negotiating the deals and the warrants and the grounds in which Nigeria got independence, we need to go and review it, because that, even before that, the problems of Nigeria started, but that is a solidifying, signed and sealed foundation as to why Nigeria is what it is today. That's it. Don't argue. That's it. He maintained that the current situation in the country is beyond a common man, stressing the federal government has been busy talking about banditry activities while majority of the citizens are suffering in silence. The government is not helping issue at all. People are suffering at all levels. The situation is not that the rich get richer while the poor get poorer. The public commentator described the government as President Buhari as an irresponsible government, saying that most of the youth engaged in banditry activities are youth that have no means of livelihood. Cool. Thing is, hunger has been in the lands prior to banditry, but banditry is what we need to focus on. It just is what it is. It's sad, but listen, it's where we find ourselves. Like, it's the reality of the situation, and maybe it's easier for some to say than others because they're more privileged than others. But it is what it is. Like, the issue of insecurity is what we need to focus on. And there's this phrase: "The poor will eat the rich." I don't know who said it. I've heard it once. And that time should come now, because it's taking too long. It really is taking too long, because there has to be anger. There has to be anger. And I think that's the only thing that would push for change. The people themselves that are abused, they need to realize that they're being abused and that they're being violated. Because if you don't know you're being violated, if you don't know you're being abused, what would you know that you need to fight for? You're not going to be aware. We understand. Listen, that's how revelations are made, because you are angry. You don't just get angry all of a sudden. The compounding problems of Nigeria from when it was signed and sealed independence, more than 60 years, it's now on us. It's not as if we're suffering for the problems that we have created in terms of this year. Listen, the problems from 1960, even before till now, are on Nigerians today. And if you don't fix it, we pass it on, and the problem does not go away just because we do not solve it. So it's not like, it's sad, but there has got to be a revolution. And that revolution has to start in the mind. It has to start in the mind of the masses to understand that they have the power, and it has to start from the mind that They need to realize that they are being abused and they are being violated. That is it. Because now, it now boils down to the individual and the life that they want to live and making that decision for themselves. And unfortunately, it's a time thing. Not everyone gets to that at the same time. Not everyone gets to a point where they're like, I need to go fight for my rights. Not everyone has that realization at the same time. Some people will get there faster than others. Some people will take time. So those that have gotten there faster than others will be very much impatient, saying that, listen, when are we going to do this? But then it's not up to you to educate the people around you to make them understand that, yo, you need to now think and decide for yourself, long term, what are you doing on this earth? What are you actually doing? Because you want to do certain things, but then the land you're indigenous to does not even help you in the best way possible. So it's like, if there's anywhere else in the world that you can be your fullest and potential, it should be your land, but it's not. People want to leave. So it's not like, who else will hold the government accountable but the people? And when I'm saying this in particular in relation to the North, because they are a lot. They are a lot in number. And it's just very frustrating, because you'd expect that after 12 years of being oppressed, bamboozled, mugged, after 12 years of being bruised and battered by Boko Haram, you'd expect they'll be the most angry set of people in the country. And sometimes, okay, fine, I don't have another perspective as to why the place is calm. I don't understand as to why the people are not angry. Like, we need to see their boiling anger, so we know that they value themselves and they value their lives and they think for themselves. That is the main thing. It's not by going to university and having 500 degrees. No, you need to be able to think for yourself. So the fact is, we have all these issues. We are commentating on them, but we need to make moves. We need to make moves, because all this, it cannot stand. It cannot run. And that is why self-determination will continue, because, sorry, but who's waiting for who? No one has time to wait. So really, actually, the North has to get on board, basically, for us to start holding, because who else will hold the government accountable for all this? There are too many problems. You understand? It's complex. You can't just say, right now, banditry is the main one, and that's what we need to focus on. Not that there's no killing, not that there's no hunger, no lack of innovation, standard of living is absolutely poor. We know all that. Those are compounding issues. Those are deep-rooted issues. We know that. But right now, it's banditry and insecurity that we need to focus on. And for that to happen and to hold the government accountable, the people have to do it. And we need to get there. And if we don't get there, then I don't know. I guess the agitation for self-determination continues, because you can't have divided minds, divided people, easy to rule and instill fear. Put what you think, and don't forget to like and subscribe.